Chapter 5 Planet Serpo, a record of a visit to a planet several dozen light-years away. The full story of Serpo project and another top-secret project of the Roswell incident. First, the team will divide Serpo into the southern and northern hemispheres and investigate each area in turn. Then they will be able to rent a small airship for travel, and several Eves will accompany them as guides. First, the team aimed for the South Pole. However, unlike Earth, the temperature rises the further south you go on Serpo, so they will aim for the harshest volcanic area on Serpo. The team confirmed that the temperature had already risen to nearly 50 degrees. When they went a little south from the residential area they had been in, and steam and lava could be seen spewing from cracks on the surface. They then disembarked from the ship at that point and examined the composition of the water that was spewing out, and found that it contained a high concentration of iron and iron compounds. They then headed further south. However, they traveled a considerable distance from there, and the scenery remained almost the same, with erupting volcanoes and pitch-black plateaus all around. However, the temperature continued to rise, and when it reached a maximum of 57 degrees, the leader decided that anything more was dangerous, and decided to turn back and head there with anticipation. As they continued on with anticipation, the scenery gradually began to change, and after passing the desert area they had first been in, they found a plain covered with something like mud. The team also went down to the ground there and began investigating the area. The plain was covered with mud from the alkaline planet, and the team had developed plants from the binary planet for the first time since coming to Serpo. After walking around for a while, they found a place that looked like a huge valley, where there were also many plants, and the depth of the valley was about 900 to 1100 meters. As they went further in, they found a giant almegi and many other creatures. But Eve, who played Gad, warned them that it was dangerous, and used a weapon that emitted sonic waves to fend them off, so they were unable to observe much. Then, with high hopes, the team went on board the ship again and entered the northern hemisphere. The scenery changed from before, with the whole area covered in plants, and the temperature had settled down to about 30 degrees. And here too, when they approached the surface to investigate the area, they were surprised by the size of the surrounding plants. All the plants growing there were larger than those seen on Earth, and each one had a very strange shape, and in some places, water was gushing out, and Eve and the others said that it was drinkable water. So they drank it, but the team members investigated the water and found that it contained bacteria. So they boiled it and drank it, and it was very delicious. There were also many living creatures found in the area, from small animals running around in the water to slime-like creatures. And there were also large animals like cows, but they were very docile creatures. Then the team got on the ship again and headed for more training. The temperature dropped to about 23 degrees, and at this point, the members were able to take off the cooling suits they had borrowed. The Eves suggested that since there was plenty of food here, they should build a living space and use this place as a base for the rest of the investigation. So the members accepted the suggestion and asked them to build a base. The area around the place was still surrounded by plants, and the place the members liked the most was a hill that was covered with grassland. It was covered with soil-absorbing plants, and the leader named this place Cloverfield. In between investigations, some of the members began to eat and throw away food there, and they expanded the scope of their investigation to the west and east from the base. On the way, they observed various plants and animals of Celtic, and once caught and ate a snake-like creature. However, the Eves seemed to be very hesitant about eating animal meat. They also managed to reach the Eves village that they had heard about when they left. The Eves who lived there seemed to live a fairly primitive life, unlike the ones in the urban basin. They placed great importance on sound in their lives and often made their own musical instruments. The members also visited many other villages where the Eves lived, learning many things while living with them, and the team traveled to various places on Serpo before finally returning to their original base several years later. However, more than 10 years had passed since the team left Earth, and it was time to return to Earth. However, the military did not issue a compulsory order to the members at this time, because some of the members strongly wanted to remain on Serpo, and the members also decided that it was worth leaving them on Serpo if they could receive information from Serpo. In the end, 2 members remained on Serpo, and the other members boarded the Eves ship and departed for Earth. By the time they returned, a new spaceship had been developed, so they were able to return to Earth in about the middle of the line. After that, communication with the members who remained on Serpo continued until around 1988. But there has been no communication since then, and their disappearance is unknown. The members who returned to Earth were quarantined for a year shortly after their return and were questioned about their mission. After that, they were given new identities and large rewards, and spent the rest of their lives on Earth. And so, about 3 years after the team members left Earth, the Self project came to an end. So what do you think? It's a huge shock to learn that such a grand project was undertaken after the Roswell incident. There are many who deny that this story is true. It's true that there is no physical evidence or scientific basis. But at the same time, we can't live with the idea that it's a completely false and fabricated story. So, rather than denying and accepting it, wouldn't it be more fun to imagine their grand adventure? If it were true and feel the romance to the fullest, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and give it a high rating.